So when you go down to your testosterone total, it's 21.
21?
Like your age.
Yeah, right, I guess that might be a lucky number.
21, you're like, you just turned 21 and now you're 21.
Yeah, what's the normal range?
The normal optimal level is 700 at least. At least 700.
What's up guys, Derek, moreplaysmoredays.com. Today we're going to be reacting to Isaiah Miranda. He posted a video called I Have a Problem, ... getting my blood work plus first time trying cryotherapy. So a bunch of people sent me this one, and it is because this guy is very young and had a pretty wild blood test result. He is 21 years old. Where did I see that? It was somewhere in here. Oh yeah, his video description. 21, New Jersey. What's up guys? I love spreading motivation, working out, and just being the best overall athlete I can be. Welcome to my life. So anyways, this is his Instagram. He is 21 years old, and he is a fitness rock star. He's fucking peeled too, Jesus. So young kid, getting blood work done. Why exactly? You know, I don't really know, but you know, I bet you can venture to guess as we get into this here. So anyways, it's a how long is this vlog? 24 minutes. So I'm gonna kind of jump around and go to just the important parts as far as blood work. So let me see why he says he's getting it actually first, because I forget that. I already watched through this once.
It's like it's a recovery thing, not an ice bath, but you stand in a big tube that's really cold. So it's supposed to help. So we'll see how that is. That, and I'm also getting my blood work done. I won't say why yet, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'm going with Bradley to this place called Regenix. They hit me up and said, hey, you wanna come by, blah, blah, blah. I was like, hell yeah, because I wanted to do it.
So Regenix, I'm pretty sure, is the HRT clinic that Bradley Martin owns, as far as I know. And he is, that's where he got his PRP done, you know, the super advanced, you know, hair loss restoration procedure that we saw. And it's also where people get like cryo done, HRT, etc., get their blood work. So where does he say in the video why he's doing it? By the way, guys, I'm playing this on a 1.25 times speed just to get through it a bit quicker. So if it sounds a bit weird, that's why. So he's about to walk in and meet with the man.
10. What do you think the probability of Isaiah's test being low?
10.
10?
Yeah. Did he tell you guys why?
You said 10? You said it's definitely gonna be low?
Did you tell them why?
No, I didn't. I said tell them now, right?
Tell them why.
Cause I have no sex drive at all.
For how long?
For like a year and a half.
Yeah, like, now, beyond just that, tell them like,
what?
just be honest, right? Like,
Yeah. Like I really have no sex drive. I don't even have an urge to do anything.
100%.
Yeah, and I wake up, apparently waking up in the middle of the night to pee a lot. Is that happening to you?
That was happening to me when my test was when I was younger. I was 18.
Yeah.
And I went through the same thing.
Yeah, and I'm pretty lean right now, and I have no sex drive, no urge.
Because like, you still have such a great physique. Like, so like, I'm actually really interested to see what that's
What's gonna be? I'm not gonna get the results today, though, right?
2 days probably.
2 days?
Yeah, wait, today's.
Yeah.
Probably 2 days, 2 or 3 days.
So
Crazy how much Bradley collaborates with people. He's on like every fucking YouTube video like ever. Like every fitness YouTube video from LA, he's in it somehow.
Latest will be Monday.
But yeah, I gotta get checked out. The lower half of my body doesn't work.
Like I guess his gym must just be like the mecca at this point. Like fuck.
What do you think?
It's literally like,
Do you think you're gonna be low?
I don't know. I don't know how it works. I don't know if that's a thing. And apparently, he said that my skin too, I've been breaking out. Is that because of the low
Yeah,
test?
from like your hormones being like off.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I have no urge to like do anything in my lower half. But
Yeah, that's a problem,
That's
guys.
crazy, right?
Guys, that's a problem. Like I was literally there. My shit was low.
It's like he does the same thing. Like I'll work out. Like every time I eat, I want to work out because I want to keep this leanness. It's all mental. It's a mental
Yeah,
thing.
you have a body dysmorphia.
Yeah, a little bit. Everyone has it.
100%.
Everyone has it. I gotta get over it though.
I did it.
Like I'm gonna go do cardio right after this. And I'm gonna eat. Yeah.
But the fact that you work out does increase your testosterone.
It increases it. She said.
Now you do too much though.
Yeah, like I'm working out like twice a day. Every day. So nothing here.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's
He
do
literally
this.
said he has no sex drive.
Yeah, like none.
For a long time.
Yeah, but yeah, let's see. Let's get this done with.
Yeah.
Okay, so he just got his blood drawn, so I'm gonna jump forward in the video to his results and give you my interpretation. You know, so he says he's had no sex drive for a year and a half. He's only 21 years old though. He trains very hard. He has a very good physique. Bradley predicts he's gonna have no test. You know, we'll see, dude. So let's see.
The thing is that like Brad thinks that I'm not eating enough fat. So the calories I've been eating for like the past, at least since I've been here, has been like 21 to 2300.
2100 to 2300 for like is low. Like that would be quite difficult to adhere to, but I guess, I don't know how tall this guy is or how much he weighs, but like he's fucking shredded, dude. Well, actually, here he is beside Tristan Lee, so he's got to be kind of short, I would think. So, you know, maybe 2,100 to 2,300 calories isn't that low. Like, it's low, but I mean, like, perspective-wise, it's not like he's malnourishing himself to the point of, like, you're literally going to be crushing your test levels into, like, female range. So, like, it's fucking low still, especially with the amount of activity he's doing. But I mean, like, proportionally for his weight, it's not like we're talking about a guy eating like 1,200 calories, starving himself. Realistically, he's at least getting half decent, even though still, you know, minimal macronutrients. So anyways, let's keep that in mind as we go through here.
But I've been working out like 2 times a day.
2 times a day working out. That's a bit fucking excessive too.
Every single day.
Every day, no rest days.
6, 7 days a week. My life.
6 to 7 days a week. Eating 2,100, 2,300 calories. No wonder he's fucking peeled. Okay.
Last rest day was actually in Jersey. But it's only because, I don't recommend it. It's only because when I'm
Man, this guy talking on 1.25 times speed literally sounds like 2 times speed of some people.
out here, like, I'm collabing with people, I'm doing all this stuff, I'm trying to get as much content as possible, like, I'm meeting up with people, like, it's like, I gotta work. I'm here to work, you know what I mean? So, yeah, a little more context. But yeah, cryo time.
Okay, so he goes to do the cryo, which we don't actually want, so I'm not going to sit through the whole thing in that to talk about the blood test results, obviously, so
I just got off the phone with Regenix with the blood work results, and it's not looking too good. They said that things look really off, but they also said, I'm just messing with you guys, they said that they think they messed up the specimens with me and Bradley, like they mixed ours together or something, which I don't know how that's possible, but that seems a little irresponsible. But I'm not talking shit because stuff happens, so either they actually messed it up and we gotta go do it again. I'm gonna see Brad, I'm gonna see him in like 10 minutes, I'm gonna see if he wants to go back, or my blood's really off and shit's actually a problem. So hopefully it's just a mess up, and we can do it again and see what happens. And then I gotta get my insurance card and all this other stuff. So yeah, that's the plan. I'll keep you updated. I hope they get them back to me by today. I mean, they should expedite it.
Okay, so he goes to get his blood drawn a second time now.
Go in.
This one clots. This by itself from the air.
And when there's something...
These ones, there's anticoagulants in that.
And then we're gonna jump ahead to him actually getting his results. So
Yep, it looked bad. Not bad. One of the results is bad. The one we expected.
It's bad.
But yeah, so we're gonna go. They're gonna go in. They're gonna explain. They already emailed me. I already saw it.
Jesus. Just about got fucking smoked by that PT Cruiser. Jesus fuck.
Explain it to me because I really don't know what I'm looking at. So yeah, I'm interested to see.
So unfazed by the PT Cruiser. I would have been like fucking shook. He's just like in the middle of the goddamn road and the thing almost fucking smokes his ass. Jesus Christ. Jaywalk City, buddy.
What do they say? And yeah, let's do this. And we also, me and Chris fly back to Jersey for a couple days tomorrow morning. Busy day. We worked out and we'll go back later. Let's do this. EHP package came in. I got the delivery. I hope it got delivered to this address.
So your cholesterol level, cardiac risk studies, they're beautiful. They're perfect. I commend you for that.
Thank you.
Right, good. So now we're doing the hormonal studies, page 4. So with this, I'm looking at your LH is a bit lower, the lower side. So what it means, a couple things. It's called luteinizing hormone. LH, FH is follicular stimulating hormone. So a couple things, what I'm looking at is that your pituitary gland is not kind of sending messages, I would say, like to your testosterone and testes, so you're not producing testosterone. So there was like an issue with the transmitting like of hormones. So that's what's for.
So there's a difference when you have sufficient gonadotropins where you are actually telling your body to fucking make tests, where you have enough LH and FSH, but for him, he literally is low in LH at 21 years old, which in most cases would be indicative of negative feedback of some sort, and he is not excessively overweight, he's not out of shape, he's at least eating in the 2,000s of calories. You know, it's just kind of odd to have a low LH at 21. So it's not a matter of like fucking blunt force trauma to his testicle or something. Rather, it is literally low gonadotropin output, which is the first thing you look to is suppression, to be honest. So let's see what she says here.
LH, so that means that your body's not producing the testosterone what it needs.
Okay, so that's why my test is low?
Yes.
Okay.
So when you go down to your testosterone total, it's 21.
Jesus fuck. So he has a 21 nanogram per deciliter total test, which is lower than your fucking sister. It's lower than your mom. it's lower than, well, maybe not, but it's literally like the worst result you could get as a male, to the point of it being like physiologically impossible pretty much, unless you were literally exogenously using something that shuts you the fuck down. So his free as well, 2.04, abysmal. His sex hormone binding globulin, also, I was expecting this to be like, I'm like, okay, this guy's definitely just on SARMs or something. And I was expecting his SHBG to be like close to 10, but notably 23.5. It's not crashed, but it's not where you would expect for a natural. So again, does that just come down to the fact that he has such low test that he has no estrogen and his SHBG is just, you know, not being maintained where it should be? Or is it indicative of exogenous SARM usage, perhaps, and you know, crushing it down? Like she mentioned how he had good lipids, so I would have liked to see his HDL, because that would be something that is a red flag. If you see a guy who's either low or borderline low, it's in like the 40s, 50s, etc. You know, there are some pretty obvious red flags in blood work when you see guys on exogenous gear, exogenous SARMs, whatever it is. And for this hormone profile, like, this is not just like malnourishment. This is like literal negative feedback to your brain and being like, don't produce tests, because something is fucking in our system that is providing more than enough signaling to not want more shit being made. So what is that exactly? We'll dig into it after. I'll let her talk a bit.
21.
Like your age.
And yeah, right. I guess that might be a lucky number.
21, you're like, you just turned 21 and now you're 21.
Yeah, what's the normal range?
Their normal optimal level is 700 at least. 700.
So if you've seen a total testosterone reference range, you're probably familiar with the rough kind of like 350 to like, I don't know, 1,000, let's just say. You know, some labs are a bit more generous than others. Some are far less so. But anyway, in general, like an average male his age would be producing like 600, 550, 650, depending on what time of day they get it tested. But you can't even chalk this up to you tested at the wrong time, you had shitty sleep, you were just drinking, you fucking literally trained, you know, 5 times the day before. Like, you could not have imposed any kind of physiologic stress upon yourself to the point that you could show up and get a 21 nanogram per deciliter total as a natural, in my opinion. Like, this is just like beyond fucking suppressed. This is like shut down city, bro. Like, this guy is shut down. Like, there's no question about it here. So I don't like his response is kind of interesting to it, because he actually like tries to dig a bit to the point where it makes it seem like is this guy just trying to get TRT, or is he actually, you know, like something else? Like, does he not even know what he's done to himself and he doesn't want TRT? Like, what the fuck is going on here?
That's normal.
What's that percentage? 21 out of 70 or 700.
So basically you're all the way up there. So what I really look at is your free testosterone. So it's basically
Hey, what's the difference between free and total?
So the total is just like over like what you have in your body total. Like free testosterone is over your body, like the proteins of your body actually use. So you're at 2. So it's still pretty low, and we really want you to be up there at least. My recommendation to be obviously at least 600 for the
for the total or for the free?
For the total.
Yeah, and so the average, she says at least 600. That's kind of like, you know, a ballpark average for guys his age. It's not necessarily good, it's not optimal, but it's definitely an average for his age. So that's, you know, a good ballpark that she's throwing out there. Like, we'd at least like to see you at 600 to be like, you're a fucking functioning human at this point. So.
For the total or for the free?
For the total. The free, we want you to be at least 30.
Wait, so what could be the reason why it's so low?
So, like, ideally you would want, of your total, like 2 to 3% roughly, I believe it is off the top of my head, that you would want as free to indicate kind of like a healthy regulating amount of sex hormone binding globulin, albumin, etc. If these binding proteins are low as a result of, I don't know, insulin resistance, whatever it is, you know, you might have a disproportionately high free. And this is, you know, what leads to PCOS in women, things of this nature. Or at least it has interplay in that. And then on the opposite side of the spectrum, you could have, you know, very common among guys who are keto dieters. They'll have sky high SHBGs and disproportionately low free testosterone relative to their total. So they might have a good total on paper, but a shit free. And then it results in, you know, like hypogonadal symptoms, despite their total testosterone looking fine on a piece of paper. So she's kind of like breaking down the proportions they want to see in lab work relative to, you know, like client, you know, well-being and whatnot. And I don't necessarily, you know, I'm not necessarily saying I agree with her statements on like, we want to see this. I'm just kind of like giving you an interpretation of how to look at, you know, blood work and sort of assess what kind of balance of androgen to free androgen relative to binding protein you sort of want to look at.
Is because just my diet, or I'm working out?
So it's not your diet. It's basically some issue with the your pituitary gland, which is like your hormone, like the part of your brain that sends all the hormones I have one too, so it sends my estrogen and progesterone levels, so it creates hormones for my body. So for us, your pituitary gland is not transmitting much hormones to break the testosterone your body needs. And there's a lot of different factors why you're low testosterone.
Could it be diet, not eating enough fat? Maybe?
No, not totally just diet, but it's environmental factors, toxins that we eat, as well as medications that we're taking, like from before. And I'm not going to go over like what medication you're taking before, but like overall medications, your LH, your luteinizing hormones.
Could it have been the Accutane maybe? Because Accutane was really strong medication. Could they do that or no?
I don't think so. Have you ever?
So, you know, they're getting into the discussion of dietary intervention, environmental toxins, kind of spitballing as far as what could be causing this. And I don't know if she really like I'm sure she's speculating the same as I am about what it is. But, you know, when you increase your fat, are you going to take your test levels from 21 to 600? Like, no, you're not. At 2,300 calories, you're not. If he was literally eating 500 calories, then maybe I could think that, okay, maybe this is diet related. But he's fucking not. He's eating over 2,000 calories, he said himself. He's training himself into the ground, and his lifestyle is not conducive to a high test level, obviously, but it would at least be like a shitty level is like 350. Like that is borderline hypogonadal 80-year-old man. Like 21 is literally shut down exogenous fucking drugs. Like that's what we're looking at here.
I've been in like,
at least in my opinion.
Anabolic steroids at all? Nothing?
Mm-mm.
Okay, she says, have you ever been on anabolic steroids? He said, no, nothing. She didn't say, have you taken SARMs though, which, you know, that would be my speculation.
I think that could also be it. If you've ever been in some sort of like testosterone from the past, that could also result from it. And also, overall, also genetics sometimes. I've seen a lot of, you know, patients who they come in, especially like new, that they just genetically have low testosterone, and some have genetically have high testosterone.
So yeah, genetically, you can have low test, sure, but often it's going to be lifestyle related, body fat related, a myriad of different things, and it's not going to be so bad that it's 21. Like a bad testosterone level at this guy's age would be like 400 something. That would be a horrible level for a 21-year-old, and you would be the outlier who has shitty levels. You would not be at sub 100. That's like literally. Like sub 50, you're literally like worse than every chick on your street right now. Like that's how low we're talking. Okay, maybe, but like pretty fucking close. Like you're actually in like girl territory. Like very, very not good fucking garbage, exogenous hormone induced suppression territory.
21 seems like
it's like
death.
Like
yeah, it literally is, dude.
Like
nothing.
You know what I mean? Like it seems like that's like you're 21. It's 21 like you're dead.
It's like 20. I feel like it's like keep perfectly with your age. It's like okay, they're 21. Let's have a 21 number.
We first got the blood work and they said they might have messed it up.
They said 26.
And when it was 26, so then just double check we did it
Yeah,
again.
we had to do it again. It's like wait, is this
So
for
it
real?
went down a little bit.
It went down even more.
Okay, so they did the blood test twice too. So this wasn't just a transient level. Like this is consistent. And this guy's test levels are in fact nuked to hell.
I don't even know what's gonna happen for like next week.
Yeah, right.
Is it gonna be like 10?
Yeah, I don't know.
Be like,
wait, so what's like? So that's the reason is that probably the reason that I have like no sex drive at all?
Exactly.
Yeah, of course. You have no test. Like maybe I'm being a dick by stating the obvious, but I mean like fuck, dude. What would you expect with a 21? You know?
Okay.
Okay.
Definitely. That's the reason
Yeah.
why.
And then. So how do we fix that?
Okay, so we do have. Thankfully, we have us at Regenics to help you with this.
So how do you fix that? Well, it depends what fucking caused it to begin with. So, if this was naturally induced, like I would be like, what has happened in your life? Like what fucking traumatic thing has happened to cause this? My guess though, based on the gonadotropins would be suppression. Like, you know, I can spitball and fucking speculate about how it's all the fucking diet, all the fucking this. He got kicked in the nuts too hard as a kid, and blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, he's not spitting out enough LH, which means it has nothing to do with, or perhaps, but we don't know for sure, but perhaps the fucking testes are not responding properly to gonadotropins. We don't know if that's the case because there simply is not enough gonadotropin. So if he doesn't have enough LH to produce the test to begin with, then it's like, where's the broken part of this feedback system? It is somewhere in his HPTA where he has negative feedback through what mechanism? Depends. Is it a matter of, based on the fact that his estrogen is in the toilet too, because of his test levels, they actually go over his E2 after it's in the toilet too. So we think, okay, well, it wasn't, you know, probably not testosterone related. He didn't, you know, fucking inject himself with test and cause negative feedback, or, you know, I guess he could have cleared it out of his system and blah, blah, blah. We can speculate about what compounds it would have been. Realistically, if it was something other than test, it probably would have got picked up via Roche, electrochem, and luminescence radioimmunoassay blood test results when they did his total T. It wouldn't have been 21. It would have been artificially elevated. And so me, you know, what I see like a, you know, relatively low SHBG. I see a tanked total. I see a tanked free. The first thing I think is 100% SARMs. I think nothing else but that. Could be wrong, but that is my guess.
So we have testosterone, so recommend for you since you're still young, 100 milligrams per weekly with HCG, with, sorry, like big something. So you're still young, so with testosterone has a lot of similar medications, there are side effects with medications.
So they give him TRT and HCG off the bat, which, you know, to me, like with no blood work besides this one, and nothing else to go off of, and I see a tank total, a tank free, a low SHBG, you know, all I'm thinking is, you know, this kid's on SARMs or something. Like he's, like if you look at his physique, does this look like something you could achieve with 20 nanogram per deciliter test levels? Like, no, fucking definitely not, dude. The guy has like cap delts almost. Like, has your girlfriend ever looked like this? Like, no, she fucking hasn't. This guy is fucking peeled and jacked. Could you have achieved this with your girlfriend's test levels? No, no chick on earth can do this. And this is why they take anabolics and fucking SARMs when they compete. So what is the likelihood that he achieved this physique walking around with these test levels? Extremely low. Pretty much impossible, actually. So for me, I think it's pretty clear as day what's going on, and I don't think it necessarily just like warrants, you know, jumping straight into TRT plus HCG when there's clearly an underlying thing. Like maybe this kid just did a SARM cycle and doesn't even understand how to PCT, or what a PCT is, or what his hormones should look like, or what may happen as a result of using exogenous fill in the blank, whatever he did use. Or maybe, you know, there's a bunch of different things that should be explored before just like, you know, cookie cutter jumping to TRT, in my opinion. Now, of course, obviously it's one thing to like force somebody to walk around low T, like that's problematic too, but it's like, this situation is like, it's fucking iffy, dude. When you have a 21-year-old and you have like no history of anything, just comes in with the most absurd reading you've ever seen in your life, like, how could you really justify just being like, yep, clearly need TRT, like this has nothing to do with SARMs, you know? Like there's no chance this could involve anything else. Like to me, I don't know, dude. You know, this is, it's pretty worth digging into further, in my opinion.
One of the side effects with testosterone is you could have some breast tissue swelling. It's called gynecomastia.
Yeah.
Also.
So he knows what gyno is, but he has no idea about what causes ED, why his test levels are low, what's going on, but he somehow knows what gyno is, which is like the bro term for gynecomastia. So, you know, there's a bit of, you know, red flags flying all over the place here. He suddenly knows about, you know, some really like niche specific terms, but just 2 seconds ago, he didn't even know what the fuck testosterone was or what it did.
So you could also have some erythrodysostis, which is like thickening of the blood. So if you have a lot of like red blood cells circulating your blood, but it's an easy fix. We usually check your lab level every 3 months, just to make sure like all your labs are good. Your liver enzyme we also take a very close eye on because it could lead to very rare liver disease, very rare, like at all. More side effects, you could have developed some acne as well, but I've only seen it when the patient have testosterone level is like 1,000, at least more than that. I'm just gonna tell you those side effects.
What are some ways I could fix that without getting
testosterone?
Yeah, without anything.
Unfortunately, like you really have to take with that low level. You just have to. Your body's not producing testosterone. You know what I mean? So we have to supplement that with the testosterone injections.
You don't have to. You can look at, now obviously I'm not suggesting monotherapy of a SERM, but for this guy in particular, where it seems pretty clear cut that something was being used and subsequent to using it, he had crashed test levels, gonadotropins, etc. you know, maybe that would warrant some intervention with some sort of serum therapy to see what happens as time goes on, to see if a makeshift post-cycle therapy practice may actually get him back up to where he was, because we have no idea what his baseline really is, because clearly it was not this. Like, this is not what he's been walking around at. You would have not even made it through puberty, dude. You would not look like a dude or sound like a dude if you went through your entire puberty with a 20 nanogram per deciliter total and a free that is non-existent. So no, you haven't been walking around like this forever. Something happened. And I would get to the fucking bottom of it and probably intervene with, I'd be like, what, did you take your PCT, bro? That's what I'd ask before we get into any of this shit.
Okay, how's my estrogen? Do I have estrogen?
It's, yeah, your estrogen was really low actually.
Which is
it's
good,
11.8.
right? Is that good?
Yeah, it's fine.
Because I would think maybe if your testosterone is low, maybe that means estrogen's high, but I guess that's
No. So it's basically, if your testosterone is high, that means your E2 is high.
Yeah, so, well, if your testosterone's high, I guess, yeah, like technically okay, that's a lot of nuance there. But, yeah, in general, testosterone aromatizes to estrogen. So the higher test is, the more aromatization you have, the more estrogen you have. And obviously this is going to vary significantly based upon, you know, how fat you are. This kid's shredded as shit. So it's not like he has nearly as much aromatization as the next guy who's 20% body fat at his fucking walking around at like 7-8% or whatever he is. But with that being said, you know, like, if you have a 20 total, how much estrogen could you possibly produce, even if you were fat as fuck? Like, not very much. So, no, like, sometimes that may be actually a cause for some guys of low T, is if you are excessively overweight, you can actually have excessive aromatization that then leads to negative feedback that then tells you, no, we don't need more testosterone because we have more than enough estrogen. And then your body down-regulates your testosterone production as a consequence to try and prevent yourself from making as much, because it doesn't need that much estrogen. You're making too much fucking estrogen because you're such a fat ass. Whereas getting in shape and getting to a more reasonable body fat percentage would otherwise increase your test levels. And obviously there's a trade-off when you get to the point that you're literally malnourishing yourself with a lack of sufficient macro and micronutrients. And that's where you get into the single-digit body fat percentage territory, where guys start to have a decrease in actual endocrine hormones and whatnot, because they are literally starving themselves into nothingness, and their body is in conservation, fucking scared for its life, thinks it's withering away into the abyss mode, versus when you're 20% plus and you have excessive aromatization and all that estrogen leads to negative feedback and lowers your test. So the sweet spot is in the middle at a healthy body fat percentage, not 8, not 25, but in the middle somewhere. So for him, he's certainly not at the healthy, happy medium body fat percentage, but it does not warrant him being where he's at. Like, I would expect him to have probably low T based on how hard he's going in the gym, how aggressively he's dieting, the 2-a-days shit, like his filming schedule perhaps. I would expect, you know, like a transiently low T, even just like, you know, irrespective of all of this stuff, but it would not be in the double digits, you know? It would be like low in the hundreds still, at least, you know, like you would not see a 20. So, yeah, low E2 makes sense. You know, he has like no test.
So when it comes where you're developing some symptoms and your E2 is at least 40, we're gonna give you some medication, but I can talk to you about that another time.
Yeah.
Okay, so the reason I don't like what she just said is she basically just laid out an arbitrary rule for which they apply what I presume to be an aromatase inhibitor, which is a horrible way to go about it. Like, did she say we're going to just give it to you regardless once you hit 40 picograms per milliliter?
And your E2 is at least 40, we're gonna high, that means your E2 is high. So when it comes where you're developing some symptoms and your E2 is at least 40, we're gonna give you some medication, but I can talk to you about that another time.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's saying if you're symptomatic and your E2 is over 40 picograms per milliliter, then they would administer what I presume to be an anastrozole or Arimidex. And that would be their aromatase inhibitor to lower the E2. So is that something I recommend in practice? Not really. I think AIs are the fucking devil, dude, like, to be honest. So in like the majority of contexts, like in a TRT context, there's almost always a way to optimize within physiologic levels that you don't need to introduce another drug on top of your regimen in order to achieve symptom relief. So, you know, just arbitrarily you have symptoms and your number is 45, here's an AI. Like, that would not be the approach I would take myself or any of the doctors at my clinic, to be honest. So anyways.
To kind of combat the side effects, but for us, we're going to really do it safely for you, just to make sure you don't have any side effects, and also making sure that we're giving you the proper testosterone supplements your body needs while we monitor the side effects.
And could it possibly be that I like the amount I'm working out, like I just work out so much that it's low, or no? That's not a thing either?
It is a thing, but it doesn't fucking justify 20. Like, it is a thing, but it's not gonna yield a 20. Like, it's just not.
But then how come, like, I used to have a sex drive? You know what I mean? Like,
I used to have a sex
you know what I mean? So, like, what would make it just drop like that?
SARMs?
I'm not really quite sure, just because I haven't seen like what your levels are before.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure what you were. What am I looking at?
Yeah.
But you're still 21,
Yeah.
and according to the studies, by the time you hit 30, it's even going to go down from there.
So she doesn't have enough background information to make an educated guess about even what's going on with this guy too. So it's kind of, you know, insane for him to be like, what happened? She's like, I don't fucking know, dude. You showed up with the most absurd test result ever. Like, what do you expect me to say, you know? If a 21-year-old shows up with a 20 nanogram per deciliter test level, you're supposed to make me tell you what you did when you probably took some shit. Like, please, like, fucking explain. Like, you help me. Like, what the fuck have you been doing?
Could it be 0? I feel like...
I've never actually seen it 0, but this is actually probably the lowest I've seen it.
Really?
And I've checked it twice, just to make sure we weren't sure, like, is this correct?
Yeah.
Like, that's what we had to make sure to double check it. Like, maybe the lab kind of, like, probably messed up or something.
Yeah, but, like,
or we're thinking
it's so low, but, like, in terms of, like,
yeah,
the gym and stuff, like I feel good, like my pumps are good, like my strength is good,
right.
So like that has nothing to really, doesn't affect the working out part then, right?
I don't even know if that was a question. Doesn't affect the working out part, right? I have good pumps in gym. I get good workouts still, so that doesn't affect it. It's like, yeah, testosterone fucking dictates pretty much if you grow muscle or not. So if you're getting pumps in the gym and you're having good workouts and you're gaining strength or you're maintaining it even, if you're even maintaining it and not falling apart right now, it's probably because you were on some fucking shit.
So, no, so like a lot of guys who go to the gym, their testosterone levels are actually, I'm not sure what they do, but then most of them are probably are testosterone, I'm assuming. Just because how do they have this, like, they're like really strong, able to do that. And you're saying you don't have a lack of energy, you don't have mental clarity, but the only side effects you have is the low sex drive.
Could it be the fact that also I'm really lean? Because I don't have a shirt on that, but like I'm pretty, like my body fat's really low. Is that a thing too?
It is a thing, but again, it doesn't explain it.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think it affects that at all.
Okay.
Like I said, it's probably your genetics that you're basically, your testosterone
low,
there.
yeah.
Let me have Serge actually come in, and then like he can explain to you more.
Okay.
Just but like what I'm just recommending you is this. So
Yeah, no
Serge-
problem.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Thank you.
All right, that was interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't really know what that means. Like, 21 seems like death. Like, and I was like, oh, can my diet fix it? Like, is it genetics? Like, what can I do to help it? And so what I'm going to do is, and like I said, I feel good. I feel good. Like, I have energy for my workouts to do my daily activities. Like, I feel strong. I feel like in shape. Cholesterol, all that's good. So yeah.
So I would like to see what his cholesterol actually was. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, your HDL could still be good within a reference range. On SARMs, it's possible for sure. The SHBG, could have been lower, for being on SARMs. You would expect them to be a bit more crashed, especially with that lack of E2. But again, they're on the low end of normal. Then the test and the free, fucking trashed. LH, obviously suboptimal. So for me, this just seems like a case of you stop what you're taking, all the half-lives have cleared out of your system, and then your body either has enough gonadotropins in order to support recovery, or you need some sort of intervention of some sort, like a PCT, perhaps. And that would be, maybe we look at TRT down the line after you've exhausted all the options, as opposed to at 21, where it doesn't sound like you want to go on TRT by the sounds of it, but here we are. So, for me, this just sounds like a case of, I'll let him finish, and I'll give my conclusion, and then we'll kind of wrap it up, because it's getting long.
Yeah, low test, and then he was saying, very low test, not even low test, like I have no test. He's pretty much saying it's like non-existent.
It's 0.03 of what you're supposed to have.
Yeah, and then, see, you should get your test. You should get tested too to see what like yours is at.
Okay, you want to pay for it?
No, your insurance covers it, dick.
Maybe. They said they don't know.
Well, when you go home. But yeah, so I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna go to my main healthcare provider, maybe get another result, maybe go to a urologist.
Actually, I'm supposed to be getting a physical.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I could probably ask.
He wants me to get a physical. He told me to get a full physical. So I'm gonna get a double check, triple check, and see if I can fix this.
Go test. You suck. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna see if I can fix it. But like I said, I feel good, so I don't know. Maybe I should get my parents to do theirs and see if theirs is genetics. Maybe what if theirs is low. I don't know. But yeah.
Your dad, right?
Dude, if your dad's was like this, you wouldn't have even been born. Like, this is how bad your fucking hormones are right now.
Yeah, well, I guess my dad, or my brother. But yeah, I guess that wraps up the video. Interesting results. I just wanted to see kind of, well, I want to try the cryo. Like I said, they hit me up like, oh, come by, blah, blah, get blood work done. I never got it done before, so everything looked good. The only thing that was off is the test, and then like my liver enzymes are high, but that's not too big of a deal.
Liver enzymes high, also a sign of either, obviously if he's training twice a day and he went to get the blood test like right away, like obviously that can contribute. But what you also see with SARM's usage, liver enzyme elevation.
It could also be some of the supplements I'm taking.
Well, I guess he's on Accutane too, he said, right? So that could be accounting for it as well.
Like in terms of like fat burners, like some of the ingredient like caffeine. Not that it's a bad thing. It's not super high, it's just a little high. But yeah, that's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Comment down below what you think. But yeah, and for all you guys that think that I'm on stuff, that I'm on gear, I take steroids, this clearly shows you that I'm not. I'm completely 100% natty.
Even below natty.
Yeah. So yeah, comment down below what you think. Hope you guys like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't.
So him actually stating that this proves he's not natty, or that it proves he's natty. It's like, dude, if anything, this proves the exact fucking opposite. Like, this is literally the only time you would see a hormone level this trashed is a guy who's using something. And I think it's probably SARMs. That would be my speculation. So anyways, I'm not going to harp on it too much more because I pretty much laid out my stance already. This is an absolutely absurd testosterone level that you just would not see, you know, like no amount of, you know, lifestyle, fuckery, diet, cardio, etc. is going to account for a 20, like with a low LH and just the other red flags that I'm seeing and just happening to know what gyno is when I don't even know what testosterone is. So anyways, I don't know, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. To me, it sounds like this guy just needs a good PCT and then he should be back up and running. And I would be interested to see what his follow-up blood work is after a proper PCT practice. And then after that, you know, looking at TRT more seriously, if that was even, you know, something still relevant. But I feel like this guy probably just requires a bit more insight into his specific situation based on what he has done to himself. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, check out my blog, moreplates.com. Follow me on Instagram, at moreplates_moredates, Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Apple Podcasts. If you want to support the channel, you can check out anything I'm associated with in the video description below, notably my TRT clinic, where we have PCCs and doctors I vetted myself personally that know how to interpret this kind of stuff with elaborate detail and know how to look into very niche scenarios and would know how to spot shit like this, red flags, and know how to address imbalances and deficiencies with precise detail, and get access to my pre-designed lab test panels I make myself based on either the most cost-efficient way to assess endocrine parameters, the most elaborate blood tests that have the markers that actually know how to assess your organ function, as well as endocrine parameters that are actually accurate and aren't using really, you know, rough shot in the dark immunoassay results, as well as other kind of comprehensive panels I've designed myself and more to come in the future. And anything else I am associated with is all in the video description below. So, and the TRT as well as all telemedicine from the comfort of your own home. So you don't even need to leave the house. You can do it all from Skype, FaceTime, Zoom, whatever is most convenient for you, and get an individualized protocol designed based on your own individual needs, if warranted. If warranted being the key word. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Talk to you soon.